Hey GAWDA members, what's going on? Welcome back for another episode of GAWDA TV. Can you believe that we're less than 2 months away from this year's Spring Management Conference in Indianapolis? Be sure to check out GAWDA.org for up-to-the-minute information about this year's conference, including the Contact Booth Program, speaker information and bios, and all of the networking experiences you've come to expect from a GAWDA show. Today's SMC update is sponsored by Air Products. Air Products is proud to announce Victoria Brifo, Senior Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer at Air Products, as the industry speaker at this year's SMC. Joining us to give our first SMC update of the year is GAWDA President Bob Ewing. Bob, we appreciate you being with us today.
It's good to see you, Steve.
Bob, now that registration for this year's show is open, and we're less than 2 months from gathering together in Indianapolis, what are you most excited about for this year's SMC?
Again, we're going to have great content. So I'm really excited to hear from all the speakers that we've got lined up. I'm really excited to see our friends again. Indianapolis is going to be an incredible venue. I just got back from Indy. They were hosting the College Football Championship this past weekend. Amazing host city. The host motel at JW Marriott is first class. It's a relatively new hotel that was built to help host the Super Bowl. The downtown's vibrant, fun place to be. Lots of great food and culture. Amazing sports venues right there in the facility. The cool thing is you go out the front door and you're in a downtown urban environment. You go out the back door and there's a beautiful green space, and it's almost like a college campus. The NCAA headquarters are there. We've got some really fun events planned around that. This is going to have a strong Indianapolis flavor to it. Instead of a traditional opening reception, we're going to have a game day atmosphere and have an opening tailgate that first day to welcome people to Indianapolis. But really just looking forward to seeing everyone again, having a good time and learning a lot from my fellow peers in the industry. They're going to share some great content with us.
We've got a great slate of speakers for this year's SMC. Can you discuss some of the things that attendees can expect to hear about?
Doug Bowles, as you know, but some of our audience may not know, he's actually the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And the Indianapolis 500 is not an ordinary sporting event. The Indianapolis 500 Motor Speedway is not an ordinary venue. And it's just iconic. So he's got a really interesting perspective. He's recently led his organization through a crisis. They've come out stronger. I think a lot of us have faced the same challenges emerging from the events of the past couple of years. And he's in a dynamic industry in one of the most dynamic and changing sports in America. So I really look forward to hearing from him. As an executive, he inherited an awesome legacy, and I think he's actually been able to extend and build on that. So I'm really excited to hear from him about leadership and the amazing history of the Indianapolis 500 Motor Speedway and the Indianapolis 500 event. Really excited about Kevin Basic. That was a little bit serendipitous. We actually met Kevin in Colorado on our way to Colorado Springs for the annual convention this year, and he was visiting the Air Force Academy. His specialty is the intersection between leadership and character. And he's very focused and involved in leadership development. I think a lot of our members right now are probably breaking in some new leaders in their organizations. We've all experienced some organizational challenges and had to promote people into new leadership positions. And it's very important that we are intentional about developing those leaders and getting them off on the right foot. And I think Kevin is the perfect guy to address that issue. One of the quotes that I pulled down that I think really will resonate with folks is he says that character without leadership makes you a nice person who can't deliver for your family, for your team, for your company. Leadership without character is dangerous and threatens the trust and performance of your organization. So the time has come to build leaders of character. I think that's a really good and impactful message, and one that all of our leaders in our association will resonate with, because we're all faced with that challenge of making sure that we've got effective leadership in our organizations, and a lot of new leaders that are just stepping into leadership roles for the first time.
At last year's SMC in Nashville, we debuted the educational track sessions. GAWDA's bringing those tracks back for this year's SMC. What went into that decision?
It was a little bit of an experiment. I think Abity took a real risk to do that in Nashville, and it was just warmly received by everyone. We had so many very generous speakers, great content, and everybody raved about the take-home content that came out of many of those sessions. The biggest complaint I heard is that they couldn't get around to see all of them because there were multiple tracks. And that's a pretty good complaint to have. That means that they really saw value in the sessions that they did attend. So we thought it was worth doing that again. There are a lot of great folks in our industry that haven't been spotlighted yet. We've got 16 of them again that have stepped up and agreed to participate on a variety of subjects. We're going to talk about different growth plays that we can execute in our business in order to grow. We're going to talk about some of the supply chain challenges we have. We're going to talk about leadership and what we need to do to shape the culture of our organizations and the leaders in it. So I think those education tracks are going to be, again, a real success. And I just appreciate the generosity of everybody that stepped up and is willing to speak and to offer their wisdom to us. I think everybody will enjoy it. I know I will. Bring your whole team. You know, I know you can't be in 3 places at once, so bring a couple other people on your team so that you can attend all the tracks and bring all that content home to your business. I think it'd be well worth the investment.
Due to COVID, we were forced to shuffle the order of the conventions and SMCs. Originally, Indianapolis wasn't going to be your SMC year. How serendipitous was it for you to be such a sports fan, and specifically a college football fan, and to host your SMC in a city like Indianapolis? We're even hosting the opening reception at the NCAA Hall of Champions. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's awesome. And, you know, one thing I want to say, too, about Indianapolis, Gary and Kathy Halter chose this venue. Those of you who know Gary and Kathy know that they're some of the nicest people that you could ever meet. And but they represent their city well, because as we spent time in Indianapolis visiting different venues for events and different restaurants and just enjoying the city, there are friendly people everywhere. It is a very, very hospitable city. And yeah, it is the ultimate sports town. I mean, if you're a sports fan, Indianapolis is a really fun place to spend some time. Great history, great sports venues. Like you said, the headquarters of the NCAA. I think sports fans are just going to really enjoy it. But the city offers a lot more than just that. You're going to have hospitable people everywhere you go, and you'll enjoy the food and the culture very much.
Is there anything else you wanted to mention to GAWDA members before we go today?
Bring your favorite team jersey. You see, I'm wearing my LSU jersey. Bring your favorite team jersey. We're encouraging everybody to wear those at the opening tailgate, and just come prepared to have a great time and to learn something. I really look forward to seeing you. Appreciate your support of the association, and I think we're going to have a blast.
Bob, as always, thank you so much for being with us today. In the spirit of this year's SMC, let's leave it with a Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
We've got a great episode planned today, so stick around right after a word from today's presenting sponsor, SaftCart. We're joined next today by John Tapley. John is a member of GAWDA's Member Services Committee and is the chairman of the Engagement Subcommittee. John, we appreciate you being with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here today. Thanks for having me.
John, as a member of the MSC, can you discuss some of the major initiatives the committee is working on and how the work that you do as a committee benefits GAWDA members?
Yeah, Steve, our primary mission is to communicate and educate, current and prospective members on the programs and benefits GAWDA has to offer, and also to enhance the current offerings. And then we are also creating new programs in line with the needs of members. And we recruit new members, and we try to ensure that we can retain existing members. We're here to support GAWDA in its mission, to promote safe and operation and economic vitality of distributors in the industrial gas and welding equipment segment. And you can make an analogy, Steve, that we are the Chamber of Commerce for promoting GAWDA membership. We want to elevate awareness for all benefits GAWDA provides its members. And some of the initiatives that we're currently working on, or that we currently manage, are outreach programs where we promote GAWDA to other industry organizations, and activities where we mentor and guide new members into the GAWDA organizations, such as an event we have in the beginning of every, the Spring Management Conference and the national meeting. It's called a 3-2-1 event, where we bring in new members and we mentor them and guide them and introduce them to new people and kind of work them into the organization as best we can so they can make full use of it.
So a lot of the things that you just mentioned have to do with keeping GAWDA members engaged. Last year, the committee launched 2 subcommittees, the Engagement Subcommittee and the Growing Membership Subcommittee. As the chair of the Engagement Subcommittee, can you describe what your goals are? What would you consider success to look like for the Engagement Subcommittee?
Yeah, Steve, the Engagement Subcommittee is just that. We facilitate ways and means for existing members to maximize all the benefits and capabilities that GAWDA has to offer. And we're ambassadors for the brand. And, we aim to ensure that all programs and offerings are broadly understood, and how the value can be linked to individual member success. And that's our goal. That's what we want to, get across. One of our goals at the moment is to develop a program where those who are seeking mentoring relationships, fairly new, typically new people into the organization, they can find them. And we're working on an initiative to expand our LinkedIn group into more of a day-to-day engaging discussion board. And if we were to define success, it would be measured in the level of activity ramp up and just the general chatter, going on throughout the day-to-day world of GAWDA members. And we do have some ways to measure that chatter.
Beyond attending the national conventions, what are some of the other ways that maybe GAWDA members aren't as familiar with that they can be engaged with the association?
I could go on with this one for a long time, Steve. There are a whole host of member-only resources, and that include, things like discounted business services, access to compliance manuals, industry statistics, full use of our world-class consultants. And I mean that. I mean, if you've ever seen these consultants in action, you'll get a feel for how good they are. On things like guidance on workplace safety, DOT regulations and compliance, FDA medical gas compliance, government affairs, and human resources law. And these are things that are just extremely valuable to somebody that is a member of GAWDA. And there's a lot more members, resources, member benefits that I could go on and on with, but I'd use up too much of your time today. So,
you've been involved with GAWDA for a long time. How beneficial do you personally find the association to be when you're fully engaged with everything that it has to offer?
Good question, Steve. And this is a really, really unique industry. And it's not something you study for in college. You don't just study and go graduate and find your way into it. It's just a really unique industry and, a unique universe that we found ourselves in the middle of. Everybody's homegrown. Again, you don't go out and study industrial gas and welding business and then boom, you're plopped in the middle of it. You bring your talents and you're there. It's so unique, and people outside the industry don't get it. They don't understand, what the complexities are. So it's really interesting, and I've been doing it for a long time, and I still find myself learning and growing in new directions constantly. And you can't imagine, I think there was a BASF campaign a while back. We don't make the products you use, we make the products you use better. Everything that a consumer touches, almost everything, is touched or is made up of some sort of industrial gas application. It's just so broad, and it's interesting. If you have a curious mind, it's a great place to be. So because of all that, I think it's that's one of the benefits of being in a GAWDA organization, because all the support you can get from coming plopping into this industry and not really knowing your way, and that can be one of the biggest benefits you have. So it's a great industry for the curious mind, and again, the GAWDA is there to support everyone coming into it and operating into the industry. And there's just tons and tons of benefits to do that with.
John, is there anything else about the MSC or the engagement committee that you wanted to leave viewers with today?
I would say, in closing, I'd say, as you're watching this and you're thinking of things you want to throw out there or do differently, if there's something you need, please bring them forward. That's what we're here for. We're here to hear your ideas and to bring, continue to bring more value to GAWDA. And I couldn't close without a recruiting commercial here, because all the committees across the board are always recruiting new members. So this is a great way to be involved in the industry, a great way to be involved in the industry association. That is one of the biggest benefits to everybody that participates.
John, we really appreciate the work that you do on behalf of the association and for your time today. Thank you so much for being with us. Finally, we're lucky enough to be joined today by Erlbeck Gases and Technologies Vice President of Engineering, Andrew Hess. Andrew, thank you for being part of the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Andrew, can you tell viewers a little bit about Erlbeck's mobile welder training and testing facility?
Our mobile welding trailer is a 40-foot trailer that has 8 welding booths in it, as well as all of the consumables and fume extraction that you would see in a normal welding school, just condensed down. It's pulled by an F550 that also carries a generator to power the trailer and all of the cylinder gases that we need to run our programs. The original reason we came up with the trailer was to service customers that either did not want to travel to our school in Baltimore or had a large enough volume of students that it was more cost effective for them to have us go to their site rather than send all of their employees to us.
Can you discuss how Erlbeck came up with the idea for the mobile facility and what the process was like to take it from concept to reality?
The idea of the mobile trailer was something that we were kicking around for quite some time before we ever put it into action. When we would inquire with our customers who regularly used us for testing and training, they all gave the idea a thumbs up, but no one wanted to stroke the check to say, let's do this. It wasn't until we found a customer with that need out of state who wanted to use our services, but it didn't make sense for them to come to us, that actually said, give us a proposal on doing this. Once we had that opportunity in front of us, we got serious about it, put together a proposal that justified the expense involved with assembling the trailer. And that particular customer accepted our proposal. We did quite a bit of training for them that year, and we continue to do training with them to date.
Since you launched the trailer, what's the feedback been like from customers?
I would say that, considering the fact that we've had one customer, our original customer, who signed up for the mobile training back in 2001, continues to use us, 21 years later, that overall the feedback on it has been nothing but positive.
For any other distributors who may want to do something similar, do you have any tips or advice that you can offer them?
Let's talk. And the reason for that is because I would want to make sure that they have a realistic expectation as to how a mobile trailer would be utilized. And I would love to help make sure that they don't trip the same way we did. Again, we've been doing it for over 20 years, so we've kind of figured out how to do it and how to make money at it.
Andrew, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Being active for more than 70 years, always following the original mission. Wherever gas is the integral part and provides energy for everyday life, there will be the technological and productive commitment from Cavagna Group.
Today's member news segment is brought to you by Anthony Welded Products, 4 generations strong since 1958. We start out today with some sad news. We want to extend our condolences to the friends and family of Rick Blair, who passed away at the age of 61. Rick worked for WeldStar for 34 years and is remembered as a fun, loyal, hard-working, and passionate co-worker and friend. He will be missed by all who knew him. In other news, the deadline to renew your GAWDA membership is February 28th. If you haven't yet renewed your membership for 2022, make sure to do so today. After February 28th, your company will lose its access to GAWDA member benefits. GAWDA invites its distributor members to participate in the 2022 Cross-Industry Compensation and Benefits Survey. The survey provides companies with a better understanding of how your company's compensation levels and benefits compare to other distributors and wholesalers. As all companies deal with the ongoing labor shortage, don't miss out on this crucial information to benchmark yourselves against your competitors. Technovalves North America hired Ron Linston to be its new Director of Business Development. Distributor Data Solutions launched its redesigned website. WireWizard announced the promotion of Brian Cooper to president. The company also announced that Doug Bollinger was promoted to product manager of its Weld Central product line, and Robert Wilburn was hired as product manager of the Powerball and Wizard Gear product lines. Kevin West was appointed as national sales manager at Champion Cutting Tool. He succeeds Mark Anderson, who retired in December after an incredible 41-year career at Champion. Fine Power Tools welcomed William Craig as president of Fine US. The Messer Distributor Group announced its 2022 board members. To read the full list of board members, click the link in the description below. Coastal Welding Supply debuted its new specialty gas lab in Beaumont, Texas. Kevin Shelley was promoted to Strategic Account Manager of the Americas for Nikiso's cryogenic pumps unit. City Carbonic announced the addition of Doug Foltz as Operations Manager. To read more about any of these member news items, or to submit member news of your own, read the full February 15th GAWDA Connection in your email inbox today, or by clicking the link in the description below.
Superior Products is a top American manufacturer of compressed gas fittings for the industrial and medical industries for 75 years. We strive to deliver top-notch customer service by turning our customers' problems into superior solutions. Join us in redefining gas management systems today.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Once again, make sure to register for this year's GAWDA SMC by visiting gawda.org or by clicking the link in the description below. Be sure to join us for next episode as we discuss this year's GAWDA theme of Leaders Mentoring Leaders. Until then, for everybody here at GAWDA TV, this is Steve Guglielmo signing off.